Y'all ready?
Ready?
Y'all sure?
Yes.
Then turn this pump on. It sounds right.
Wait, what's it? I see a drip. Oh! Water coming out.
We got water.
We got water. I.A.G Farms. It's all about God. We're working on the camper right now. Tim's out here doing the plumbing. So basically, he's got this line here. Show you. He's got this line here completely redone. We have a new fitting. He's just replaced this fitting. We tried to do it like it was before, but the tool to clamp it down was just cost too much for us to do it one time. So we've got this push on, and we're gonna see how this fitting works. So he's set up right now, and we're going to test it eventually once he gets to that point. But just gonna want to show you his progress, how he's got this refitted. And so starts over here. He's got it plumbed down in the flooring and popped up on the other side, because this is where our tank is going to go. So this tank will be over here in this area. So that's where we are right now. I'm super excited to see every little step of progress on the camper. So we'll be doing plumbing today. What do you think about that?
Let's do it. Fun, exciting, challenging.
Yes. Look, he's working now. I'm disturbing him, but as you can see there, he's putting some tape.
Yeah, I'm just getting all my fittings secured on, getting some whatever you call this tape put on there so everything won't leak. And basically, I have a plug here. I'm gonna screw this in right here. This is gonna be where the pump is gonna go. This end goes into the tank. This end is gonna screw onto the pump. The pump is going to, which is over there. You see the pump? And we have to test that to make sure it works. But the pump is gonna pump the water out of the tank through this hose into the pump, and then pump it into that hose, and then that hose goes under the flooring and comes over here to all of the sink. It goes back to the shower, the tub, and to the hot water tank. And so we're gonna get everything hooked up, get everything pressurized. I have the electrical and everything done, so I need to hook up the pump to the electrical, put a battery on, turn the pump on, and then let it pressurize the lines and see where the leaks are, and then fix any leaks, and then, you know, just put the flooring back down and move on to propane. Yeah.
That's where we are on the plumbing. So we'll be excited to bring y'all along on that journey for testing the lines, for the plumb lines and also for the propane.
Wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
So now I'm wiring up all my sensors. These are the sensors to tell you if the tank is full, halfway full, or empty. I'm getting these wires stripped off. I'm gonna get them connected to the other side of the wires. And then we'll have sensors, hopefully. We'll test our sensors at least.
Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it.
we've got everything hooked up now. The water pump is hooked up to the electrical, and we got the camper hooked up to the battery, and all the hoses and lines are legit. They're hooked up, everything's working. We even heard a sound when Tim hooked up the electricity. So now we got the water.
Yeah, the pump came on.
Yeah, the pump came on. So we've got the water ready to go. So we're about to fill it up. I'm nervous, but let's see.
All right, so as Megan said, we have the water tank hooked up, all the electrical and everything is hooked up to the holding tank. This is our fresh water holding tank here. And we're going to start filling it up slowly and test for leaks. And we, as Megan said, we hooked up the battery to the camper. And we turned on the water pump just for a second, you know, because it doesn't have any water in there right now. So we turned it on for a second, and it did come on, so we know that we have the water pump wired correctly. And so now we're going to start filling up this holding tank. It's a small holding tank. Our other camper had a holding tank like 4 times as big as this. But so we're going to start filling it up and start checking for leaks. And then if we can get it about half full and there are no leaks, then we'll flip on the water pump and see if we can, you know, run water throughout the camper and then check all of the pipes and everything for leaks. So that's what we're doing now. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling it up.
Filling it up.
It's exciting, isn't it, boys? You excited? Yeah.
I'd love to test it. All right, so we have our tank about, I don't know.
It's less than
It
half.
might be less than a third, so our sensor is not registering because it should say holding tank. No, fresh tank. It should be on about a third, but let's see, are we at that bottom sensor? Yeah, we're about at the bottom sensor, so I don't think that sensor right there is working, so that's the first thing we're testing. So now I'm gonna turn the pump on. As I turn the pump on, it should start pumping water into the system, and we'll start checking for leaks. But first we'll see if the pump actually is working. Y'all ready?
Ready?
Y'all sure?
Yes.
Now turn this pump on. Sound right.
So what's it?
I see a drip. Oh! Water coming out.
We got water!
We got water! You did it!
Now we're just gonna let the pump run and let it get the system pressurized and see if it'll stop. And that'll really let us know if there are any major leaks somewhere that we can't see. Because if the pump doesn't stop, that means that there are leaks because it's letting the air out somewhere. No, the pump is working. It's on one screen now.
Yeah, that's great.
What?
Leak.
Yeah.
Alright, you gonna stop it or gonna go? We found one water leak, but everything else looks great. The tank works, the pipes, you know, are working. The pump is working. The water is coming from the faucet, so that's huge. It just looks like there's a couple pipes that are leaking, so we need the parts to replace those. We'll go and get the parts to replace those, but right now Tim is just kind of straightening up and getting everything back buttoned up and the floor laid back down, and we're just gonna call it it for today. That's about all we have in us, but we're super excited that the pump works and the pipes work and water's flowing through them, but there's just a couple things that we need to replace. So that's an amazing victory, I think, for the restoration of this camper. So that's it. We're gonna call it quits for today. I.A.G Farms.
I come to you in times of trouble. You're always resting